firsties, welcome back. I mean second graders. Ugh, I'm always going to call you my firsties. Even when I come to your high school graduation, you better invite me. And you're like taller than me, I'll still call you my little firsties. But welcome back, my little firsties, now second graders. Time to finish Pinocchio. After all of these months, we finally get to find out if he becomes a real boy. Now remember, he started out pretty selfish, didn't he? And he made some very, very bad choices. And he made quite a few mistakes. But the important thing is that he's learned from his mistakes and he became a good little boy. Sure, he'll still make some mistakes along the way, but how he handles those mistakes and how he learns from those mistakes is what really matters, doesn't it? Even Miss Darcy, at the ripe old age of 42 years old, I still make some mistakes here and there. And I learned from them, and I'm still becoming a better person by learning through my mistakes. So the important thing is that you do everything you can, mostly by following those 6 pillars, right? Those 6 pillars cover almost everything: to be kind and caring and respectful and compassionate, and to take care of people and to take care of your community, and to have, you know, great pride in your work, and just to be a good little human being, which I know everybody in my class is, because you're amazing and I love you and I miss you. Anyway, let's get on with chapter 18. Finally, it's called Pinocchio Becomes a Boy. There's the answer to the question. When Pinocchio and Geppetto were settled, Cricket revealed that the cottage had been given to him only yesterday by a little goat with blue hair. She handed me the keys and went away, bleating sadly. "Poor Pinocchio," she said. "I will never see him again." A goat with blue hair? Who do you think that might be? Do you remember? So the little goat, who's talking here? So the little goat on the white rock, the one who witnessed me being swallowed by the shark, was Fairy? Pinocchio cried. But where was she now? Still out there, stuck in the middle of the sea? If he wasn't certain that her magic would help her to save herself, he would try to save her too. But now he had his father to take care of. Pinocchio carefully made his father a bed of straw and helped the old man lie down. The next step was to get him some nourishment. "Where can I find some milk?" Pinocchio asked Cricket. 3 fields away from here lives Farmer John. He has some cows. Go there and he will give you what you want. Pinocchio ran all the way there, but the farmer couldn't give him a glass of milk unless Pinocchio gave him a penny. "I have no penny," Pinocchio said sadly. "Well, then you'll get no milk." Pinocchio turned to go. "Wait a moment," said Farmer John. "Perhaps we can work out a trade. Can you draw water from a well?" This time, Pinocchio didn't protest. He was a changed puppet. "I can try," he said. "Then go to that well you see there and draw me 100 bucketfuls of water." Pinocchio did just that. 100? That's a lot of bucketfuls of water for 1 glass of milk. But he's going to do it, isn't he? And 100 bucketfuls later, he had a warm glass of fresh milk for his father. He had never worked so hard in his life. From that day on, Pinocchio got up every morning before the sun rose and went to the farm to draw water for the farmer. And every day the farmer gave him a glass of warm milk for his poor old father in return. Geppetto grew stronger and better every day. But that wasn't all. Pinocchio also took on lots of other little jobs. He helped people with their chores. He made things and sold them. And with the money he received, he and his father were able to keep from starving. In the evenings, Pinocchio studied by candlelight from an old secondhand school workbook that he had bought all by himself with some of the money he had earned. Before long, he was able to save 50 whole pennies. He decided he would buy a new suit. His was full of holes and held together with tape. On his way to the market, Pinocchio ran into an old friend. Why, it was the snail that had lived with Fairy. "Answer me correctly, sweet but slow, snail," he cried. "Where and how is Fairy?" The snail replied, "Fairy is lying sick in the hospital. She doesn't even have 1 penny with which to buy a bite of bread." Pinocchio gasped. Reaching into his pockets, he pulled out his pennies and begged the snail to take them all. He didn't need a new suit. He would give anything he had to help Fairy. Oh, Pinocchio. If you come back in a few days, he added, I will have even more money to give you. Inspired by Pinocchio's kindness and generosity, the snail, quite against her normal habit, began to run like a lizard under the hot summer sun. Where is your new suit? Geppetto asked when Pinocchio returned. Oh, I decided I didn't really need one after all, Pinocchio replied. That day, instead of making 8 baskets to sell at the market, Pinocchio made 16. It was almost midnight when he finished, and he fell quickly into a deep sleep. That night he dreamed that a beautiful, happy, healthy fairy kissed him and forgave him. In return for his kindness, and because he had taken care of his father, she promised to give him the thing he had always wanted most. Awakening and opening his eyes, Pinocchio was stunned to realize that the dream had been real. Instead of being a puppet made of wood, he was finally a real flesh and blood boy. And that wasn't all. Looking around, he found the little straw cottage gone. In its place was a big bed in a comfortable room in a real house. Jumping down from the bed, Pinocchio saw a new suit, a new hat, and a shiny pair of shoes laid out on a chair. On the dresser was a note and a leather purse. The note read, Boys with such kind hearts deserve to keep their pennies. Love, Fairy. Opening the purse, Pinocchio found 50 pennies. Running to the mirror, Pinocchio could hardly recognize himself. In the glass was a tall boy with big blue eyes, dark brown hair, and a happy, smiling mouth. Why, he was downright handsome. Pinocchio ran into his father's room, where he found a man who had also much changed. Several years younger and looking snazzy in new clothes, he was once again Master Geppetto, the woodcarver, already hard at work on his latest craft project. How did this happen? The boy asked in wonder. You made it happen. Geppetto replied. When bad boys become good and kind, magic happens. And what happened to that poor naughty old puppet Pinocchio? There he is, answered Geppetto, and he pointed to a large puppet leaning against a chair. The puppet's head was turned to one side, his arms hung limp, and his legs were twisted under him. There he is. Hold on, I'm gonna yawn again. Stop it, Miss Darcy. Taking one last long look at his old life, Pinocchio sighed contentedly. Remember that content means that you're happy and you're just okay with how things are. How silly I was, he said, and how happy I am now that I am a real boy. And that, my dear readers, was no lie. Oh, I love this book. I apologize again for taking so long to read it to you and to finish it for you, but there it is. And you can always look at the past videos of Pinocchio to catch up on those last chapters if you can't remember them. I think maybe there's 5 chapters that I read after we started online learning, or maybe 10. I don't know. There was a lot. It's kind of all a blur at this point. But hey guys, I love you. This will probably be the last video. Again, feel free to, you can FaceTime me, you can write me letters, you can email me, you can call me if you're like, I can't figure out this math problem, Miss Darcy will help me, anything like that. I am forever your teacher, you're forever my little firsties, and I love you guys, I miss you guys, have a wonderful year, little second graders, and keep in touch forever, okay? Air hugs, high fives. See you. Mwah.